Clap it. Hey, yo, what's up? Hey, no time for jokes. No time for jokes. Somebody's going to jail, y'all. How you doing? My name is Hero. This is Coding with Strangers, and I want to talk about something. If you're watching this, it's the day before my birthday, so like, share, and subscribe. Don't let a black man fail. No, seriously. We've been talking a lot about AI. We've been talking a lot about privacy. We've been talking about how important it is that AI manages to find a way of representing people's work, especially work that has been stolen. Right now, if you go into any of the algorithms, large language models, and type up something similar or resemblance to the story of the Titanic or the Avatar or Harry Potter, it will inevitably fill in the blanks with those stories. And the question is not how does it know? We know how it knows. The big misconception with large language models is that it can think on its own, which is not true. It is just optimized search. Remember, ChatGPT and all these large language models is just Batman's utility belt. Unless you are Batman, you will not be able to maximize and use these things to the best of their abilities. We've come to terms with that. We're okay with that. So what happens is these larger companies get to steal people's information, and it gets tied up in litigation. People get paid off, or you don't have the money to fight people to get their things or to get your proper representation because you're not a multi-billion-dollar company. So your voice gets lost to the void. But you better bet 150% the other way around, if the tables were ever turned, they would clap your cheeks like a bad beat drum out of the Southeast. You feel me? They would beat the brakes off of your shit. And at least the first reported story of this happening has come to light. So let's dig in. This is really obscure. It happened today. They dropped the news on this today, but the court case has been going on for a while. But the results, I think, are finally in. North Carolina man charged in New York with 10 million AI-generated music bot fraud scheme. Oh, boy. The U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Christie M. Acting Assistant Director in charge of the FBI New York Field Office, announced the unsealing of 3-count indictment against Michael Smith. The dude from The Office? That's a reference. Who allegedly created hundreds of thousands of artificial intelligent AI-generated songs and used automated bots programs to stream these songs billions of times, fraudulently obtaining more than 10 million in royalties. Hey, yo. Okay. So immediately, I thought I was under the impression that he stole other people's songs and made new songs. But in reality, what he did was make shitty songs and then built a bot farm to listen to a song. That's the equivalent of me having bots to watch this channel. I was this close. This was how close I was to starting OnlyFans. This is how close I was to buying bots. I don't know. I think that's the system working for the system. Why is how okay, how is this against the law? Don't websites know how to detect if there are bots or not bots? You would think that would be something they could do. Smith was arrested and will appear before the U.S. Magistrate Judge in North Carolina. U.S. Attorney Williams stated as alleged Michael Smith used AI-generated songs and fraudulently streams to steal millions in royalties that should have gone to legitimate musicians and songwriters. Thanks to the work of the FBI, our office Smith will now face justice. I don't know. Don't we have more important things to be doing? I feel like this is, I don't do. There's nothing else we could be investigating. That is such a great point, Ren. Isn't this just Peter Parker getting paid to be Spider-Man? Like, there are people dying without health care. We don't got nothing else to talk about. Okay, in the beginning of this, I wanted this dude to get fucked. I might put some money on his books because this guy needs help, clearly. The FBI acting assistant director, Curtis, added Smith's scheme exploited the integrity of the music industry, the integrity of the music industry, the same music industry that exploited black artists for so long that they literally couldn't make a dime. They owed the label money after making an album. Is it Al Green? Oh man. One of the famous artists, I think it was Al Green, forgive me if it's not, but he literally had to make a whole entire music album just so he could pay his ex-wife alimony. And the judge made him do it. Somebody give me the name of the artist. The judge made the artist make an album to pay alimony. FBI acting assistant director Curtis Smith, the scheme, this is how he did it. According to the indictment, Smith created thousands of fake accounts on major streaming platforms such as Amazon Music, Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube Music. And my question is, why don't these platforms have ways of detecting this? You want to know, because trust and believe, this is the same reason why they can't stop hate raids, and this is the same reason why they can't stop people from harassing people on their platforms, is because they don't do IP identification or machine matching identification. And yeah, there's a level of privacy security thing, but it should only be used in breach when the system is being manipulated. But if there's 150 in 1 hour accounts being made from one single address point, maybe we should take a look at that. Using these bots and accounts, Smith manipulated streams for AI-generated songs, securing fraudulent royalties payments. At one point, Smith estimated he could generate 660,000 streams per day, yielding millions in annual royalties. I see nothing wrong here. Let this man go. When rich people figure out a way not to pay taxes, we don't get mad at them. He figured it out. Oh, we gotta let this guy go. To avoid detection, Smith distributed fraudulent streams across thousands of songs, preventing any single song from attracting suspicion. He partnered with an AI music company to produce hundreds of thousands of tracks, which were then uploaded and streamed using bots accounts. The AI generated songs had randomized file names, and Smith created fake artist names to further conceal the schemes. I still haven't heard this. I still haven't heard what this person has done wrong. Misrepresentation to streaming platforms. Smith provided false information to streaming platforms, violating their terms of service. Their terms of service aren't laws. You biased piece of shit paper. What is this? Tampa Free Press, the dick of the country, talking about fucking terms of service. You don't even let your kids read books in your state. Bots to manipulate streams. These fraudulent streams led the platform to report billions of plays of Smith's music, even though they were generated by bots and not real listeners. Smith's actions resulted in him collecting over $10 million in fraudulent royalties. This has to be a fluke in their system. You mean to tell me you were paying out $600,000 in views, 600,000 views, and you were paying out royalties for these songs and didn't think to yourself, let me just listen to the song? Smith's 52 of Cornelius, North Carolina. He's 52 years old. You could tell he was down on, because what he did isn't easy. I mean, he had to have a spread of things in order to be able to do this. He needed a database where he could hold all of these accounts. Like, he had AWS mixed in this. He had some S3 buckets maybe. Like, this wasn't easy for him to do. So this guy has some skill. Wire fraud conspiracy, maximum 20 years. Wire fraud, 20 years. Money laundering conspiracy, 20 years. This man could serve 60 years because he was hot on the internet. I mean, come on. Like, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. There's a bunch of horrible artists that are pushed by the industry. I don't know about. I really have some second thoughts about this. The case is being prosecuted by the Complex Fraud and Cybercrime Unit of the U.S. Attorney Office with assistance of the U.S. Attorneys Nicholas W. Chiuolo and Kevin Meads leading the prosecution. The charges and the maximum sentence are set by Congress, but the final sentencing will be determined by a judge. Free my mans. Hey, yo, free my mans. Post it. Hey, yo, post it. Hey, yo, everybody go say free my mans over there. Feel free. Feel free. We got to free this guy. We got to get him out. We got to get him out. We got to get him out. We got to get this guy out. Okay, I want to look at this kind of critically. The fact is, he didn't even take from the mouths of other artists because all of his listeners were bots. He's not taking away from, at first, in my first mindset, I was like, I have an issue with this because he's stealing money from actual artists. But the truth is, he literally found a glitch in the matrix. Maybe 10. I would even say maybe 1,000 people listen to the song. But once again, the distribution in the songs, part of his scheme was to never give one song too much attention. So none of the songs were good enough on their own to actually blow up. He basically he showed a level of restraint. This guy is methodical in his approach, if anything. He showed a level of restraint. His ability to be like, no, I'm not going to go crazy and give myself 3 million views. I'm going to get I'm going to get 5,000 here, 600 here, and move on. And the fact that he didn't steal from an artist and the music, he made it through a third-party company. I mean, the guy's hands is clean. It's just that he got caught. He probably should. You know what it is? It's greed. If he gets out at 2 million, maybe 5 million, we never hear this story. He exits stage left, closes down all the accounts and moves, and that's the end of it. Exit stage left. Put it off on a shell company and he's done. The thing that's really upsetting here is that the streaming platforms that were duped into paying him they clearly didn't have barriers put in place to prevent stuff like this. But once again, if they did that, it would then require them to do other things, and it would then give them the capabilities of being held responsible for security lapses on their platform. And this is actually upon closer inspection, this definitely deserves a closer look. But the thing that I think is sort of holding this in place is that they're looking for a scapegoat. And going back to the original point of this, we would never see another AI company or OpenAI being held accountable. Because I didn't hear any mention of the music wasn't stolen, theoretically. But we do know of AI artwork that is literally being stolen and being profited off of by bigger companies. The roles would never be reversed. So to see this guy get the book me thrown at him, get thrown at him, when we know that there are mega corporations doing this to smaller creators, that's where my grievances goes. Like, yo, before we put this dude in, before we check this dude, I think you could set a better, louder example by putting OpenAI, Gemini, Gronk, and a host of other large language models that are running rampant right now without any handlebars, without any safety precautions, putting those people into check, bringing those people to yield. I think that's where this needs to go. But, hey, free my boy, what's his name? Michael Smith? Hey, yo, free Michael Smith. Free my boy. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think.